Welcome to USF, the Vessel Online. This is Java Talk, and I'm your host, Austin Clemen. And today I have with me Joe Obermueller, the head of the theater department here at USF. And with the show Life is a Dream opening up, I just wanted to sit down and talk with you a little bit about it. So to start things off, how did opening night go?
It was great. It's so fun to be able to open a show after so many months and weeks of working on something, and having an audience there is really great. So we had a great time.
Yeah. So how many months and weeks, how many late nights was it?
I've lost count, but we auditioned for it in September and started rehearsals at the end of September. So it's been almost 2 months that we've been working on it.
All right. And so Life is a Dream, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is from the mid-1600s, and it was originally a Spanish language play, right?
Right.
Okay.
So
you guys did what in order to make that work for USF?
So, yes, this is from the Spanish golden age of drama, so think Shakespeare only in Spain. Okay. So this is one of the most popular works from that period of time, and Life is a Dream is one of the most widely produced plays still today from that period of time. So the translation from the Spanish is a really difficult work, and in fact it's almost not performable. It's very lengthy. The monologues go on for 8 or 9 pages. And so what we're doing is an adaptation from the translation that was written about 30 years ago. So it's a modern adaptation of the translation of the original work. And so it makes it much more accessible to us and to an audience.
So as a more modern translation, did it also transpose the events to more modern times, or did it keep it set?
There were quite a few liberties that the adapter made in order to make it a dramatic piece. So there are a couple of components in our version of the story that weren't necessarily there in the original, but it does connect it a bit more with a contemporary audience.
Gotcha. And so I assume for like a show for this, or for a show like this, there's a lot of other technical aspects that go into it, from lighting, set design, sound work. Can you talk a little bit more in depth about that? Because I'm sure not everybody really knows how much goes in behind the scenes.
Sure, yeah. So we rely quite a bit on collaboration, quite a bit on the talents of others in order to produce theater. So we have a scenic designer. We have people who then build that scenic design. We have a professional scenic painter that comes in and does a lot of the paint work, and then a professional lighting designer and a professional costume designer who also builds all the costumes. So that's a great thing about what we do, is that the costumes, for example, were all built for the particular actors that are playing those roles and have never been on stage before until now. So that's a really cool part about it.
Awesome. All right. So on top of having set designer, stage designer, costume designer, is this just all paid people that are doing it, or can you do that as part of the USF classwork? Yeah,
so that's part of it. So the whole idea is that our students are the ones that are building the show within all of the aspects. So not only the acting part of it, but also the design. So our costume designer have students working with her, building the costumes. Same thing with scenic, same thing with sound, same thing with lighting. So students were involved in all of the aspects of putting the show together.
That's awesome. So that probably, I would assume, makes it more involved, and so then you get so many more people having a vested interest in this as well. So how many people does your show sit this year?
So I think there's approximately 20 actors in the show,
yep.
And then I would say there's at least 20 behind the scenes doing a lot of other things, and that might be cutting it a little short. The behind the scenes work is quite a bit, so we have quite a few people working on that.
Yeah. And so then how many more shows are there left, so that way people know how many more chances they have not to miss
Right,
this?
So we open last night, and then we play Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7, and then we have a Sunday matinee at 2.
Awesome. So then what's one thing, to kind of wrap this all up, what's one thing that kind of sets apart, in your mind, the University of Sioux Falls Theater Department compared to anywhere else in the United States?
Well, we focus a lot on process and product, and so sometimes we do shows that are challenging in process. So this show is an example of that, where the work that goes into it is really is really difficult and challenging, and it's challenging for all of us to put it together. So the idea of liberal arts and exposing ourselves to these kinds of works is exactly what we should be doing at a liberal arts institution. So
Well, that's awesome, and it sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for taking the time
Thanks,
to sit
Austin.
down with me. Well, if you haven't gotten to see the show yet, you still have 4 more opportunities, so make sure that you go and see Life is a Dream by the USF Theater Department this weekend. With USF's online, USFS Online, I'm Austin Clemen.